We're pregnant! And I am using that as an excuse to get a bigger art studio. I mean, I'm giving up my art studio so that the baby can have a place to sleep inside the house and moving into a shed in the backyard. So today's video is how to convert a shed into an art studio when you live in Idaho and it gets negative 10 degrees in the winters. Step one, buy a shed. Now, I could have built a shed, but, frankly, it costs about as much in materials as it does to pay somebody else to do it nowadays. And so I had these guys from shedsofrigby.com come and install it, put it to the side of my garage here, a little floor jack to jack it up, and propped it up. And now we've got a shell, an outer shell. So the first major problem that I have is that it doesn't have electricity. I got to do the electricity before you do the installation and all that stuff. So I went to my panel in my garage, which is right next to where the shed is going, and I only have one open slot. Full load for some reason. And what I ended up doing is having to run a sub panel. And these are the new ones. They go down into there. That's the hole I drilled that I shouldn't have. That punches through the wall. And then comes over here, out of the wall, into the ground, more than 18 inches down, onto my new sub panel. I should say at this point that I have no idea what I'm doing, and you should not use this video to learn how to do anything electrical, and hire an electrician. I did not do that. I talked to friends that have known how to do this, read a lot of articles online, and used University of YouTube. I'm actually really excited that this worked at all and I didn't burn my house down or kill myself. And got the sub panel working, punched it through, drilled a lot of holes and pulled. I measured it all out and bought 100 feet of Romex, which is the wire that goes into the walls. Turns out that was not enough, and I needed another 50 feet because you have to cut a bunch of it every time you put outlets or switches in, and I had a lot of outlets in, so ended up being a little bit more than I anticipated, but had some help pulling some wires because you just wanted to. You're a good helper. So you can earn money. Do you like money?
Yes.
How much am I paying you?
Like a lot?
Yeah, how much? How much have you earned today?
I don't know.
Look up at me. Hey, look at me. How much have you earned today?
I can't remember that second.
Okay.
I do remember the first one, 3.
3?
Yeah.
And the second one you probably got 4, huh?
Yeah.
Yep.
Or maybe 5.
Yep.
Can you help me make
Kind of
this
care
little
about the
bench?
number of coins more than the type of coins, huh?
Dad, can you help me make this little bench?
You got it. You're doing great. Parallel versus series. The way that you might be tempted to do things is series because it's way easier. You run all the electricity through these, but the problem with that is if one of these poops out on you, then it breaks the circuit for the rest of it. That's called series, right? And basically what that looks like is like this. And so that's series. The problem with series is that if any of these outlets busts up or whatever, there's like no connection down here to like connect this thing. It's just any one of these becomes a failure point. Also, it reduces the amount of electricity with every unit. So I don't like that. Parallel is the way to go. The way parallel works is like so. So you split your Romex, right? You cut the wire. Then what you do is you're going to have another little loop here of Romex. Neutral, you tie those together and you have another one that comes up like this. And that way electricity can flow up through here and continue, and it can also go through here. And so this isn't like a single point of failure. So you'll kind of wire nut or wagyu those together, okay? And then you do the same thing with each of these. So you'll go hot, and then you'll go ground. And this looks significantly more complicated, but basically you have electricity going through it like this so that it continues this direction, and it also will come up this way and go here. right? And so this outlet works just great, but if it fails, the electricity will still go through the wire, and that's called parallel. I'll just draw the other side just so you can see how to do that. So that's how that works. And that's 100% of what I know about electricity. So here's the tour. So first off, I've got where my desk is going right here, and you can see a lot of plugs because I will have 3 or 4 computers and monitors and Cintiqs. Door right here, right? TV right there. HDMI. 2 HDMIs right there, and the plug for the TV. And that goes through the ceiling, right? And then right here, L-shaped desk, flat file. On the other side of that, couch. And then we're gonna walk this way and turn around, right? So couch, L-shaped desk, standing desk that goes up and down in the back, and then reclining chair. And then I'm probably gonna do built-in bookshelves right here, art on the walls. So that'll be kind of fun. So I will be able to send, HDMI this way over to the TV, or HDMI this way over to the TV. So I can do reference drawing on the TV. I can cast things and then use that to draw from. Down on the floor here, I'm gonna do what's called an earth battery. An earth battery is where I'm gonna have a vent right here, right? That's gonna come up. You bury a pipe 3 feet in the ground and then run it like 10 or 20 feet. And so what will happen is, underground, and then you pop it up, right? So what will happen is, in the summers, 3 feet down is always between 50 and 60 degrees. So when the extractor fan kicks on, it'll pull air up, right, out through that, which will be coming from the ground and pop up, and it'll be kind of like a natural air conditioning without air conditioning. But in the winter, when it's like 10 or 20 degrees outside, 3 feet down is about 50 to 60 degrees. And so it'll pull air up, and that air will be hotter than it is outside. So insulation through all of this, and then I'm going to put up walls. Put some carpet tile down so that I can still roll a chair across it. And that's where we're at. So I've got my electrical in. I'm going to get my rough-in and inspection from the city. I got my carpet down. And after I get that inspection, we're going to go to insulation and walls and paint, decoration, art, move all the furniture in. It's going to be great. So stick around for part 2. Also, if you want to see my comic and all that jazz, you can go to CoreyKerr.com/comic and go check out my art, which I will soon be making in a shed.